Hey guys, hope you're doing well. In our last video entitled What Every Cancer Patient Should Know. By the way, if you hadn't seen that video, click up on the link and watch that video. But I concluded that video talking about a couple things that Brandy did for me while I was going through cancer. And one of those things was she strengthened my immune system. And one of the ways she did it is by providing good probiotics to me. And so I concluded that video talking about the next video would be about probiotics. Well, I got to talking to Brandy and she was like, Reggie, before you talk about probiotics, there's another term or another video that you need to post talking about Candida. So in this video today, we're going to be talking about Candida. So without further ado, you ready to get started talking about Candida?
Sure.
All right, let's get started. Alright guys, as we just mentioned in the intro, this video is about Candida and I'm just ready to jump into it. So Brandy, just kind of, a lot of people probably are like me. There are a bunch of smart people in the world that are like you and they understand what Candida is, what it means, but there are a lot of people that are like me and they don't understand, especially if they're in the beginning stages of trying to get their health right. They may not understand the term Candida. So would you just kind of walk us through in a very basic sense when they say Candida, what are people talking about?
Well, first I would like to preface this video by saying I am no guru in this. Reggie a lot of times will say I'm the brains behind it. I know a lot about it and not so. I am just a normal girl like any other person out there who is crazy about health, crazy about living the way God has intended for us to live.
You're a health nut.
I'm a health nut. That's it. So, with that being said, just want to clarify that I am no guru with this. So you asked what's Candida, right?
Yeah, what is Candida?
Candida basically, in a nutshell, is a fungus, which is a form of yeast. And a very small amount of it is in our mouth and in our intestines. The beautiful thing about it, God gave us a little bit of this, actually, of that bad bacteria so that our bodies can decay. So, saying that just so you can know that bad bacteria is not a good thing in abundance. We don't need a lot of it. What we're striving for is to have more good bacteria than bad bacteria in our intestines, because that yeast, its main job is to help with digestion and for nutrient absorption. And so we want to have a good balance with more being good bacteria than bad bacteria. But when this overgrowth of Candida occurs in our body, it breaks down the walls of our intestines and it penetrates the bloodstream. You get little holes. It reminds me of a cockroach and how they have their little legs. It's like it attaches on and it put holes into our intestines. And so that allows that bad bacteria to seep out into our bloodstream, therefore releasing toxic byproducts into our body and causing a term you probably are familiar with or may have heard tossed around called leaky gut.
I know this video you didn't intend to talk about leaky gut, but see that's another term that somebody's gonna be like, wait a minute, now she threw in this term leaky gut just in a small, just quick time frame. What is leaky gut when you hear that term, because it's used a lot, leaky gut?
Well, it's basically like I was just saying, it's when toxin and microbiomes and undigested food particles, they escape into the bloodstream. travel throughout the body and causes diseases to set up. So.
Let me say another thing, Brent. I just want to throw in, because a lot of times, especially on this channel, I'm going to do a lot of talking about cancer prevention, because that's just kind of, being a 2-time cancer survivor, this stuff is very important to me now. But I don't want, a lot of times when I'm talking to people, they have that tendency to think that, well, that doesn't apply to me because I don't have cancer. So does Candida and all this stuff that you're talking about, does it apply to everybody, or is it just for somebody that's maybe going through cancer?
Candida can occur in anyone. It has nothing to do with just cancer. It sets up so many diseases that I'll talk about here shortly, but it is not cancer related, and we get that a lot because my husband is a 2-time cancer survivor. The things that we talk about and share so often, people think that, that doesn't relate to me because I don't have cancer. So don't think that Candida is an issue that everyone needs to look into. There's a spit test out there that you can do, a blood test, a urine test. There's many tests that you can take to find out if you have Candida overgrowth in your system. So
let me just again throw in something else. I don't mean to cut you off, but it's almost safe to say that without doing all these tests, if you eat bad, if you're eating processed food, a lot of animal meat, and you probably do, it's a good chance you probably do have Candida.
Right, that's one of the things that I was just getting ready to get into, and that's the causes. Some of the things that may cause Candida, and it's just not, which goes back to not just being cancer related. Eating a diet high in carbs and sugar is a big one. You'll hear a lot when you talk about eating too much sugar and the overgrowth of Candida in your system. Absorbing too much alcohol. Alcohol has a lot of sugar content in there. Taking oral contraceptives. A high-stress lifestyle. One of the pillars that Reggie and I talk about a lot is lifestyle. And under that pillar, we talk about stress. Many people don't realize the things that stress cause on our body. Disease, cancer is one of the, stress is a cancer-causing agent. And so stress, a high-stress lifestyle can cause Candida. Taking a round of antibiotics that kill both good and bad bacteria in the gut. So it goes in, the antibiotic goes in and kills out the bad stuff, but unfortunately it kills off the good stuff as well. So antibiotics are just detriment to our system, and which is a reason why we really need to take caution when taking them, and honestly preventing at all costs from taking them if you have a say. The last thing, and is an unexpected thing for many, is eating a high amount of fermented foods. Reggie and I, our family, we're kombucha lovers. We love kombucha. We brew our own kombucha. But we have to be careful with eating too many fermented foods such as sauerkraut, kombucha, pickles, things like that, because we want to be careful that we don't once again trigger an overgrowth of Candida in our gut.
Well, so my kombucha that's back there fermenting right now, and I've got a batch in the refrigerator, so you just ruined my day.
Well, no, we not here to ruin your day, but you just want to be careful not to drink it daily, or if you are drinking it daily, drink maybe half of the bottle, drink a smaller portion. If you're giving it to your kids, like our 3-year-old daughter drinks it, we dilute it with a little water and some ice. We give her a very small amount because she does take a probiotic as well, and so we don't want to give her an overgrowth. Remember, we want that good healthy balance of good versus bad bacteria, with bad bacteria being a lesser amount than the good. So it's not a bad thing we just, we always speak about moderation, everything in moderation. So even things that are good for us, we have to still think about that word moderation.
Yes. That moderation can be, this is another video, but moderation can be a dangerous thing. I've got friends now that tell me all the time when I'm on those guys about the way they eat, they're always going, well, it's okay just in moderation. So we got to be careful when we talk about moderation. So don't let moderation be a daily practice of still doing a little bit of all of this bad stuff. All right, Brandy, I've got one more question and I'm done. What are the symptoms of Candida? What are some symptoms?
Wow. That's an exhaustive list, and so just naming a few, because the list is pretty long.
Yeah, I've seen that list. You have that list in your drawer.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Her work drawer.
So many people are suffering with so many illnesses and diseases that are Candida related, and I would like to guess that a large number of people who are in the doctor's offices daily are seeking medical help because of an issue that's related to Candida. Things as small as skin and nail fungus infection, skin irritations and rashes like eczema, chronic fatigue, just being tired all the time, feeling they need more energy, so they're running to energy drinks. Digestive issues like bloating, constipation, diarrhea, rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, multiple sclerosis, psoriasis. It's so many things that we don't relate to a gut health issue. Difficulty with concentration, poor memory. How many adults and children that you know are struggling with ADD and ADHD who run to the doctors and are medicated? Things like depression, anxiety, mood swings. I am amazed at the women that I come across who are on depression medicines and anxiety medicines. It's just mind-boggling. It's becoming almost a norm. Rectal itching, vaginal yeast infections, urinary tract infections. The list goes on. I mean, severe allergies, itchy eyes, itchy ears. A lot of people that crave sugars all the time, and sugary items, food items, carbs. When you have a high craving for those foods, that's a sign of Candida overgrowth in your system. There are just so many things. I could go on and on and on. And so you hear us a lot of times talk about getting to the root cause of an issue. You may want to look a little deeper when you're diagnosed with something, because I have friends that are medical doctors, and so no disrespect to them, but often doctors diagnose and medicate. You really want to get to the root cause of your symptoms, knowing what is causing this, because a lot of times Candida is the culprit of what you're going through and the struggles that you're having.
And Brandy, again, I had no intentions of going here, but you just made me think about something. Again, I'm like you, and we've got several friends that are doctors, and they're good doctors, and we need doctors. So don't ever think that we're against the medical profession. We certainly need doctors, but it's sad that not a lot, and I'm not saying every doctor, but not a lot of doctors are talking about these things. As you know, we talked about my cancer, but I also battled high cholesterol, high blood pressure, thyroid problems, and all these times of going to these doctors, dealing with these things, nobody ever talked about, hey, maybe some of these things, let's see what's going on with your immune system, with your gut, with your gut is
your diet, your lifestyle,
which affects these things. And so it's sad. I wish we would have more people in the medical profession that will step up and start really looking into these things a little bit more.
Yeah, and then last I would like to say on that is that 2 things I feel like any good doctor should ask is, how is your diet and how is your lifestyle? Because that tells a lot. A person who's chronically fatigued, a person who is having some of these issues that I'm talking about, your diet, your lifestyle will help out a lot with diagnosing and with treating these issues, with dealing with these issues.
And in my story, I'm going to say that to talk about how we, the doctor that we ended up going to see, she really zeroed in on that. And I'll talk about that when I do a video, just kind of talking about my cancer story in its entirety. I've talked about it in bits and pieces, but I'll delve into that a little deeper in the video that I'm going to do about my cancer testimony. Brandy, thank you so much for coming on and doing this video with me. I'm so excited. I hope to snag you in many more videos with me. Just love doing them with you. And but I know you're busy. You're actually working while I'm doing videos. So just always love to have this girl with me. But thank you for doing this with me. And the next video, is it safe to say we can go to the probiotic now? Because I've been wanting to go to that probiotic video. So is it safe to say now, or is this something else that I don't know about, I'm not talking about? Is it safe to say that?
I think that's appropriate.
So, okay guys, well, she said it's appropriate. In the next video, we'll be talking about probiotics and how they're helpful for the immune system. As we close out this video, we always want to thank you guys for watching these videos. And so what I always ask everybody in these videos is that do me a favor, click the subscribe button and then click that little bell button beside it so that you will be in the know every time we post a video. And also guys, please share these videos with friends and family members, people that you know that are interested in getting healthy, or people that you know that may not know that they need to be healthy but need to be healthy. This is just kind of your sly way of sharing this with them. So share these videos with them. All right, until next time, we'll see you in the next video. Take care.